Okay, let me catch you up to speed. This kid Nate can see the invisible yokai influencing everyday life by using the yokai watch. Through a series of events, he manages to get tangled up in a time-hopping, world-saving adventure that teams him up with the yokai detectives 30 years in the future, which includes Toma, who could turn into certain yokai, Akinori, who can summon certain celestial yokai, and Nate's future daughter, Summer, who can change yokai between their light side and shadow side forms. They've also got another friend with the yokai watch from a couple decades back named Shin, but we'll get to him later. There's some prophecy about Watchmasters preventing a darkness from spreading over the worlds or whatever, and there's also this dude Shuten Doji who's currently at odds with the main gang due to wanting the Sacred Armory, which we have some of. But his main goal is to find the princess of his Oni tribe, who has been reincarnated as a human. Also, there's an Eldritch Demon. He'll be important later, I promise. But now let's pick up where our story left off, which is very similar to how it began. Nate's lazing around his room, except this time it's not from being a bum, but instead, he's just tired. And I don't blame him after everything he's been through these past couple days. Unfortunately, that laziness is disturbed by the fellow Watchmaster Haley making her very abrupt entrance.
It's Haley Ann, I'm back! No, this is my house. That's not important right now, there's a case, a big case! The city is overflowing with some weird kinds of yokai! Huh?
Oh. Meanwhile, Lord Ananta, the current yokai king, restates the prophecy to his advisors Fukun and Raichan. Yes, the literal Japanese gods. And they discuss the new part of the prophecy that's been uncovered, basically saying that while the detectives go around and awaken new Watchmasters, a world-transcending calamity will be unleashed. Worried about the prospect of a new disaster emerging, Fukun asks Ananta what they're going to do. Without assistance from the yokai world's previous ruler Enma, Ananta simply leaves his advisors to keep watch over the world and report to him should anything happen. Snapping back to reality, Haley's freaking out, and slightly nerding out, about the city being overrun with yokai that she describes as gloomy, weird, and cute all at the same time.
Oh, that's right, Usapion's in trouble! As we speak, Usapion's being threatened by the gloomy and cute yokai. What? Why didn't you say that first? I just can't do anything to help him. That's why you gotta help me, Nate. Please! You have a yokai watch too, Haley. Just summon him yourself. Well, about that, I sorta lost it. What? You lost it?
Whisper's losing it right now.
Alright, now please, help save Usapion, please!
Oh, I won't let this stand. Where's Usapion, Nate? It? Oh! What's up, Usapion? Making it to the schoolyard of Springdale Elementary where Usapion is it turns out he's actually just being interrogated by some future yokai who are just curious about this world. Unluckily for them, Nate apparently hates tourism and decides to throw hands and everything is solved. Except actually not, because how did they get to the past from the future? As it turns out, the world door has been left open, likely due to some tampering from the Shuten Doji Club. And by likely, I mean absolutely. Meaning that yokai can come and go as they like, and when the rest of the detectives come through, they realize that they can't close it from either side. So the detectives then do what they do best and solve some yokai-related shenanigans. Koma-san and Komajiro! My boys! You're here! My boys! Koma-san and Komajiro!
We saw it all. That's right, a suspicious person showed up.
Huh? Suspicious person?
Yeah, it wasn't a yokai at all. I just remember it made my hairs move out of fear. Well, you should say it has hair raising. If your hairs are moving, it's a party. Anyway, this guy's really weird. Find out who he is with us.
Yes! My boys! Maybe it's a future yokai.
Thanks, sounds expected of Nate.
So what do you and Koma-san see? Oh my god! That's horrifying.
He was tall and skinny. He was raising his voice while he was running and looking around. Ah, that's right, he looked like that.
Wow, what a mystery.
Hey, that's him! Whoa, that's him? He's creepy.
Oh my god!
He looked just like Komajiro.
Don't you dare. This man.
Hop it, looking closer, you're the suspicious guys I saw in town earlier. That's our line! Don't tell me you guys opened that weird door, Hoppet. No, we don't. No, we don't know what's going on with it. It's suspicious that humans know about that, Hoppet. So you're the bad guys, Hoppet. Hey, we're not the bad guys. I'm gonna defeat you, Hoppet! It is Komajiro! No! Why would you disgrace my boy like this? I will avenge you, Komajiro! Surprisingly, it turns out that this humanoid frog, future Komajiro, is the brother of the future Komasan, who is very much a dog. It's not by blood though, it's like it is in One Piece. But the present-day Koma twins have a little discussion of their own, and after a little encouragement from his younger brother, Koma-san joins the team. Yeah! My boy Koma-san! Oh. I didn't realize the open door would be such a commotion. It's quite interesting. Seems the yokai here didn't know anything about the world door. The yokai detective agency also went out of their way to interfere. The Oni branch is reacting? The princess is in this world! This is an unexpected bonus. We also have to take the sacred armory. No, the princess is more important. Let's go, Voidera! Yes, the princess will be ours. After a couple more yokai-related cases are solved, one of which gives the gang fast travel through their favorite reflective buddy Mirapo, we get to see our old arrow-slinging owl buddy Fukuro fresh after he was kicked off the Shuten Doji Club for failing repeatedly. However, the ever-so-helpful Katie finds this guy, and she forms a genuine bond with him. She even manages to give him a pep talk so good, she unknowingly makes him go back to being a villain and beg for another chance to prove himself. The Oni branch. No way, the princess is in this world? This reaction, I'm sure of it. The princess is somewhere in this world. Find her right now and bring her to me. As you command, sir. According to the recent reports, the future yokai have settled down. Thank goodness. But there's still the open world door. Alright, I left that to Haley. I'll get back and start... How could you forget? Let's hurry back to Mount Wildwood. Alright, Haley. Hey, Haley, we taking care of the trouble in town. There's nothing wrong here. I'm both relieved and disappointed. You almost came too late. It was hard keeping Haley under control. Under control? I'm amazed I was able to hold out so long when my dreamy future world was right in front of me. Ah, the otherworldly feeling behind that door. It's been like this the whole time. Yokai detective team? Those guys came to this world too. But more importantly, that girl. Even though she doesn't have a yokai watch, she can still see and talk to yokai. To think that she's so popular. She must be the princess. No, Fukuro. Haley, behind you! Watch out! There's an enemy! You're the one we've been searching for, princess. Wait, princess? I'm a princess? No, don't get her excited. She's a nerd. Now, princess, come with me. I need to take the princess to him. What the? Wait, no! What do we do? He's been kidnapped. She was rather unconcerned. Tracking down Haley, apparently by using the power of Donut Funk, the gang finds their friend coincidentally right after Shuten Doji tells Fukuro to get for a second time because he's a pathetic excuse for a minion and an even more pathetic excuse for a living being. It seems as though Fukuro doesn't take the idea that he didn't find the princess well, and he kinda loses his mind after being influenced by some sort of mysterious dark power that was festering above him. He kidnaps her favorite space bunny, and Haley decides that the way she's gonna contribute to the plot is by using Amazon. That's not a joke. She uses a drone to drop off the items she's buying in the background. This game's weird, man. Present. I mean, the names for these different locations only really work from the perspective of Nate. Because, like, from everyone else's perspective, I guess minus Haley, it'd be like, present, which is their future, which is Nate's future. Past, which is Nate's present. And then extra past, which is, way far back. After they return to the past, the gang investigates some odd noise at the shrine, and they just so happen to find... Yo! It's my boy! My boy is back!
Apparently the yokai plan to have a meeting with the future yokai to deal with the chaos of the world door and all the time-hopping yokai. You guys don't have to be there. Just stay away from the riverbed at midnight. Yes, leave it to us and go home. Hey, Summer! Is it just me, or does it seem like we should, I don't know, go to the riverbed at midnight? Also, we got abducted by aliens? What? What? I feel as though I've been traumatized, and I don't think I'll ever recover from what just happened. Eavesdropping on the yokai meeting because we were never not going to do that. The yokai of the present meet the yokai of the future, which includes Fukun and Raichan. Reminder that these little guys are full-blown deities. The two puny gods explain that the world door will now be managed by Ananta, and they will return all the yokai to their proper place. However, as Venoct and QB go to relay this information to the city's yokai, the very obviously possessed Fukuro shows up and nicks everyone else with his arrows, turning them into their shadow side forms. Once again, complete with two gods. Gimme, my boy, Venoct. Katie, completely oblivious to what's actually going on, Katie wanders outside in the dead of night because she hears a dog whining outside. Navi Wolf! Katie's gonna help! Oh no, Navi Wolf's leading Katie to a yokai watch. Yeah, Katie's gonna be... Oh yes! Katie! It's currently, 12:15 a.m. Surely it's a good idea to... Nate's bike. Surely it's a good idea to run after and chase a dog that you find in the middle of the street that's walking through cars? Katie, do you have an issue? What's her weapon gonna be? Like, a sawed-off shotgun? Oh, we're going to Mount Wildwood? Oh, we're going to the Oh! Wait a minute! If you remember at the beginning of the game, they said that there was a brand new prize in the Krenkakai, and that prize was a brand new yokai watch. So if I'm correct, then this means that Katie's gonna go to the Krenkakai and get a watch. This glowy ghost dog leads her to the sacred tree atop Mount Wildwood. And when she takes a good old crank on the good old Krenkakai, she wins the grand prize, making her the next Watchmaster. Then, being led by the detective's resident balloon freeloader, Katie is asked to help out the detectives, and he leads her to them. Immediately after descending the sacred mountain, Katie sees some yokai that need to be dealt with. Dynamic entry!
Hey, I'm back! Check this out! Katie can help! Huh? By any chance, can you see yokai? Yeah, I can see them. Is that a yokai watch on your wrist? You're a Watchmaster too? Yeah, I just got it.
It's a yokai watch arcane. Help of a Watchmaster's is reassuring. The girl's a Watchmaster too. She just lost her watch.
Sorry for the trouble.
Give me my boy! Give me Venoct! Okay, I want to see what weapons Katie has. Oh, this is so cool. That's Shadowside Venoct. That's awesome. She's got a fan? Oh, she's got Party More Field. Whatever. The thing I care about. Come on. Octo Strike! Hell yeah! Woo! The other Watchmaster should be dealing with the other yokai right about now.
That's the yokai detectives, right? Yeah, that's what I meant. Now that things are calm, let's help.
The other yokai are pretty strong. Your help as a Watchmaster would be appreciated. Oh yeah, they're fighting like the gods of storms right now. Please, just give me your keystone, Venoct. I grab his legs, clutching, screaming and crying. Give me your keystone, please! Yeah, they're fighting the gods of storms. And also Frogman and Spider-Man. Spider-Man?
Hey, get back here! Think you can run?
Unconcerned by a literal lightning bolt to the face. Venoct's level 22? Please! Please let me get Venoct! I'm begging you! Fukuro reappears, and Katie recognizes him. Completely gone and only thinking of helping Shuten Doji, he, in a sense, kinda goes back insane. Although that's probably due to whatever mysterious dark power above him earlier was. But nonetheless, the guy's lost his mind and has turned into the grossest almond on the planet.
We'll let him go, there'll definitely be trouble. We gotta go after him and stop him.
Yeah, let's go. He's hurting. We have to save him. We're only missing one Watchmaster right now. He's in the past. Vinok, please. No! Oh my god, I found him! Oh my god, he just popped into reality. Alright. Quick, while he's here, everyone, punch him in the crotch! Defeating Fukuro, he begins mumbling something about a black shadow. And after Katie heals him to prevent him from disappearing, Nate, Katie, and the present and future forms of Venoct and Kyubi watch over Fukuro. Briefly interrupted by the Shuten Doji Club, who are certain Katie is the princess. They're wrong and promptly dip out of there. Soon enough, the rest of the detectives and even Lord Ananta himself shows up. Fukuro begins explaining the black shadow he saw, which prompts Ananta's attention. But he explains that Fukuro will be severely punished for his act of treason against the yokai world. Katie objects and asks if he could just not punish Fukuro, but Ananta explains that that's not how the law works. Fukuro accepts his fate of being erased, but Ananta stops that thought of his. With Fukuro having seen the dark force written about in the prophecy, he's too valuable an asset to let disappear. His punishment is to cooperate with the yokai world to stop this calamity. Does that count as a punishment? I don't really know. I'm not an expert on crime and punishment. But after returning to the agency, Katie reveals that she's going to officially join the detectives. Yippee, new member. Alright, what's next? Oh yeah, Haley eventually finds Usapion, so that story's wrapped up too. I couldn't find them in that world in the end. The girl who charmed those yokai wasn't much the princess. Will I wish the princess's revival really be realized? We saw some interesting things. Don't worry too much, Voidera. No. Is it Mr. Shimanochi now? There's no sign of the princess in the past. Must search again in this world. This is the perfect place to find our princess. The Purchase Avenue Princess Contest. Huh? With all due respect, Lord Sutendoji, what are you saying? The Purchase Avenue Princess Contest. Just wait a while longer, Princess. When you remember your mission, I'll be there to serve you. The yokai detectives decide to take a little time to just hang out after the chaos of the previous days. And they head to Purchase Avenue because there's an event happening today. Uh-oh. The event is actually the same Purchase Avenue Princess Contest that the Shuten Doji Club was talking about. Basically, it's a competition where a bunch of people vote on who's the cutest girl that's entered the contest, and the winner becomes some kind of mascot for Purchase Avenue. The princess, if you will. Despite the kind offer to enter the contest and being told the reward, Summer decides not to enter. But of course, the purple lizard musclehead had to go and ruin everything. That's right, Summer punches him in the balls. Against her will, Sly signs up Summer, much to her annoyance. But as a way of comforting her, Katie also decides to join Summer in the contest, and together the two face the most dangerous of foes. Random lady! McDonald's employee! If I win, all burgers will be half price. Wow! If that ain't a marketing scheme. And Akinori's new hyper crush, Isabelle Himeno. While this is happening, Mr. Shimanochi questions Haria's methods for finding the princess, but his doubts are crushed when he sees the Oni branch glowing, a sure sign that the princess is near. And with its brighter glow than normal, it means that the princess may be aware of her own power. After the main part of the contest is complete, the group gathers and contemplates who to vote for. Akinori wants to vote for Isabelle because he's a sim. Sly wants to vote for Summer because he's also a sim. And Toma... well... Toma's thinking with his stomach. Half off non-burgers if she wins. They're all like arguing over who's like prettiest, and Toma's just sitting there like his mouth drooling like half off non-burger if she wins. She's sitting there. He's sitting there drooling out of his mouth. He's like, food. The game lets you choose who you want to vote for, but it doesn't really matter because Isabelle wins, and is certainly presented with some prizes. And by Haria, no less. Here's the first prize. A pair of tickets to an island resort.
Oh, thank you very much.
Here are some more prizes for you. Discount coupon. A voucher for free ice cream. A voucher for 10 free donuts. A voucher for a free meal. Ah! Wait a minute. Those are for other people. Who do you think you are? This is Isabel Himeno, the Purchase Avenue princess. Oh, well, I suppose that's true. Oh, what a mess. You're the true princess. Not just here, but the princess on top of the world.
I'm not a princess, I'm just Himeno.
You can see the disgust on everyone's face. Summer's like, what the hell? Akinori's like, huh? Jibanyan, I don't even think he knows what's happening. Toma's just static as usual. Whispers, whoa! Katie has never been more, like, displeased in her life. Nate just, and Sly, he's disgruntled. After finally getting a day without Oni yokai trying to murder them, or a world-ending calamity being unleashed, or even any yokai-related cases, the gang all return home and then reconvene the next day. What? Why are you here? Really? Himeno? For real? I was guided here by your grandma. Am I bothering you? Oh, no trouble at all. It's an honor to meet you. So how can the yokai detectives help you out?
Actually, I can see them.
You can see them? Those creatures!
I can see them.
Huh? I mean, Akinori, you could see them before you got a watch.
Yesterday, when I saw you all, I noticed you chatting with them. I couldn't resist wanting to be friends as well, so I forced my way in.
Despite not having or knowing what a yokai watch is, Isabel asked to join the detectives, which Akinori gleefully rejoices in saying yes to. And as per usual, the detectives set off to help out and solve some cases. Isabel, I am so sorry that this had to be your first bizarre case. Oh, why, you ask? Well, why don't I just show you? Alright, basically, there have been these girls with very similar hairstyles to Isabel that have been seeing the same pot creature appear and just stare at them. Like a weirdo.
He didn't do anything, but he looked ugly. Wow, you're a crappy little kid, aren't you? Yep.
Alright, Isabel, this is a bench. What do? Sit on it? No. Damn it! What you do? Sleep. Now, Isabel, we're going to sleep on this bench for approximately 8 hours. Damn it. Okay, Isabel. I'm going to sleep on this bench again. We're going to sleep on this bench. We're going to sleep on this bench for 22 hours.
Well, I don't really want to.
Too bad! In a courageous effort immediately after joining, Isabel offers herself as bait to lure out whoever's doing this. Isabel! Everyone, we need to help Isabel! Jump him! Everyone! Everybody gets one leg! Dang it, he has 8 legs. Give the yokai to help! We'll take the arms too. Oh my god, why does he... Oh, wait a minute, this is... You must be quite good if you were able to stop my attacks. My name is Hot Pot! No, don't do it! No, stop! No, stop doing that! Cease! I hate that he's an Audible friend. I don't want that thing carefully tucked away. I want that thing smashed on the cold, hard concrete. Anyway, moving on. Haruya had also been appearing in every single quest to check up on the princess. And after dark, when everyone had head home, Isabel showed signs of not being completely normal. And had begun working with the Shuten Doji Club behind everyone's back. Luckily, our favorite freeloader, Junior, told Akinori after seeing her meeting with Haruya atop the school. Akinori went to check with the rest of the detectives, but she was nowhere to be found. She wasn't even on the roof anymore. That's when they checked in the gym. And that's also when all hell broke loose. Haruo was captured. It was revealed that Isabelle had a yokai living inside of her. Shimanochi revealed himself as Voidera, but they weren't strong enough to defeat Lady Arachnia. That's the yokai's name, by the way. After escaping, Voidera explains that the one thing strong enough to separate Arachnia's soul from Isabelle's is the Blade Bearer Genbu's Regulation Axe located in Hokenden. Voidera gives them the keystone and they form a temporary truce. Got that? Good. Moving on. Alright, let's go. Hokenden. Oh, it's like an underwater sanctuary. That's a turtle! With a tower on its back! That's awesome! Buddy Voidera, you're having way too much fun killing these people. Wiglin! Steppa! Riff! I'll save you, Riff! I'll kill you! Dude, what? I thought we were supposed to go in the elevator. And then we're supposed to go here. Just came up here for fun. Don't worry, guys, we'll sneak up on the fish. First, tenderize the meat. And the chef. Tenderize the chef as well. When did I say you could leave? You're here to die. What's that? You're fighting for your life? I don't care. Beat him up! Beat him up! Get him! You two! You dance! Die! Wiggling? I'm taking your soul. Steppa, you too! Yeah, I thought we were going to this elevator here. I don't know why it wants me to go there. Let me check what's up. Maybe it's like blocked or something? Yeah, it's sealed. Alright, that makes sense. Also, that's like way bigger of a button than you need just to, like for an elevator. Oh, I stole the soul of her two friends. Now Rith is all alone. Don't worry. You'll join them soon enough. Oh my god, it's like they're like gods of the four directions or whatever in like the Chinese stuff. I'm very bad with names. Don't kill me. But like it's the black tortoise with the snake on its back. Except this one's made of gold. And now it's green. Seal broken. Thank you. Oh, I see you're still alone. You duplicated yourself and brought your friends back to life. Love how whenever they grab a soul, you especially with the gold ones, you could just see the yokai grasping for air in the back, like, you know, ripping out the very fabric of their being and all. Look, okay, did you see that leap Toma made? They look thin as twigs, but those legs got some muscle. Now that I think about it, the yokai world, with the big birds and everything flying up the mountain, plus Suzaku literally turning into a giant bird, could that technically be counted as like the vermilion bird? Because then this would be the black tortoise. Which means then there's going to be a white tiger and an azure dragon. Right? Looks like you can ride the elevator. Would you like to go to Genbu's chamber? Hell yeah, I would. Is that the regulation axe? Doesn't seem to be guarded. What's going on? I bet they're giving it to us for free for working so hard. Why? It would never be free, you idiot. You seek my power for a reason. Depending on your answer, I'll cut you down. Isabelle, to save my precious friend, I need the regulation axe. To save a friend isn't a bad reason. However, you could say, okay, Akinori, you could also say that there's a giant demon spider lady that's about to kill a lot of people. Has the Oni there come with a different reason than that? What are you doing here, Oni? Answer or you cannot challenge the trial. Crap. Oh, you gotta reveal the secret. Voidera brought us so that we can borrow the power of the Blade Bearer. He's the teacher leading us. Summer! I know it's like a temporary truce and everything. Do not help this guy! After he gets what he wants, he is going to shoot you in the knees, crush your skull, and then kill your friends. Well, isn't this interesting? You've come this far, taught by an Oni. War deity of stagnant water, Genbu. Very well, teacher and students, come, Overcome the trial of Blade Bearer Genbu. I can see the little spot, the slot where it's going to be inserted into the Yokai Watch Ogre. Oh, what the? That's so much space! Oh, what? Oh my god! You can just grab me? Oni's hand, you know what? Screw it. Oh my god! It does so much damage! Oh my god! Look at it wreck it! It's cutting straight through his. His what? His flesh, that's what. Oh, we got him! I couldn't even tell what was happening. I was being shot in the face. It was a splendid battle, Yokai Detectives. I have accepted your resolve. Now, my decision has been made. I have recognized your power. Inhabiting my true user will unleash my power. Come forth, Regulation Axe. Didn't need to summon it. It was like in your hand. Yes. In the Regulation Axe. I bestow upon my power as a celestial. Genbu Disc! Finally having access to the Regulation Axe, they tear through the string blocking the gym's door and enter to free Haruya, who finally reveals his true form of Shutendoji and defeat Arachnia once and for all. And can I just say, this fight sucks ass. That stupid Spider-Woman is constantly using that dumb move that basically hits the whole arena. Like, look at this. She's constantly teleporting around to the point where it feels like you can never hit her, and she uses men. Living men as wrecking balls to attack you. Sure, you can drain to release them, but there will almost always be at least two you can't stop. This fight took me 20 minutes in total. I think the only thing that can make this fight worse is she had some sort of healing move. If she did, that would be awful. No, I can't let this run out. Come on, just get to her. Get to her in time. I have to do it from here. Execution! Yeah! Execute this stupid Spider-Woman! I hated this boss. It was so freaking annoying. She kept warping. What the hell is that? What was that? What was glowing? That looked radioactive. Hovering bomb? What? There's so much happening right now. Anyway, moving on to important things. Isabelle's dying. We took too long. Probably because of Arachnia's disgustingly long boss fight. And now there's basically no way to save her. Until Summer glows. And then suddenly Isabelle is back to the world of the living. Mysteriously, after seeing this glow, the Shutendoji Club leaves without another word to the detectives. Lord Shutendoji, that power. We're leaving Voidera. Is Summer the Oni princess? What? Like, seriously, dude? After everything I just went through, not even a thank you? Whatever. After everything's done and dealt with, the gang celebrates Isabelle's recovery, but Summer's having some problems. Oh my god! You okay, Summer? Yeah, I'm fine. She awakened her powers and now she can't shut them off. They're gonna keep getting stronger, Summer. You cannot run away from your fate. And worryingly, the next night, Summer begins having dreams. Weird dreams. She sees a castle with something referred to as the Black Sun hanging above it. In her dream, Summer was aiming all of her rage at it. A scary rage. An unnatural one. Now I keep dreaming of the Black Sun. Oh, that must have been the Oni princess! Oh, she's crying. That's awful. The next day, the detectives have some friendly banter talking about the previous adventure. But when they ask Summer about her glowy power she displayed then, Summer seems to snap out of some sort of daze. Then she begins explaining her odd dream. The castle, the rage, and most importantly, the Black Sun. The detectives decide that they'll look into Summer's dream with her, and they'll start by asking Grandma about this Black Sun, which catches her attention when they mention it. She recalls seeing something similar about it in the Arahoshi family scroll, but it was unfortunately burned in a fire decades ago. Luckily, the detectives are experts at time travel at this point, and plan to take a step back into the past to see their friend Tay, who's actually another member of the Arahoshi family. And as they go to do just that, they're stalked by the watchful eyes of Shutendoji and Voidera. When they eventually venture into the past, Usta, the butler of Alistair, another friend from the past, regretfully informs the YKD that their friends are currently out hunting the same yokai who'd stolen the souls of Shin's mom and Alistair's sister. With an SOS from Shin's guardian deity Susan, they're led to the past gang. It turns out, the reason they're in trouble is because for some reason Shin's yokai watch isn't working, so they're defenseless against Tamamo no Mae, the yokai who consumed their family's souls. With Alistair having nothing to offer to the fight, and Shin being unable to use his watch, Tay decides she'll step up and show her worth. Unfortunately, Tamamo has no qualms murdering children, and eats her soul. Then immediately enters combat with the rest of the detectives. But she underestimates the strength of the detectives and gets the stuffing beaten out of her. So obviously, she's like, deuces, and runs away to the yokai world of all places, meaning there's no way to follow her. That is, until Shuten Doji shows up, and spontaneously starts a battle for their sacred sword detained by the detectives. But after they're defeated, quickly at that, they give the detectives what they call the spoils of battle. And those spoils just happen to be the keystone to the past version of the yokai world. And after being very vague about helping people and that being the right thing to do, he and Voidera vanish. After a lot of confusion about what just happened, the detectives get ready to venture into the yokai world with all their Alistair, I'm not going. God dang it, Shin! After Alistair gives a little pep talk to get Shin out of his whole, "It's my fault, I'm not strong enough" shonen protagonist mindset, they all set foot into the world beyond. Holy hell yeah! The yokai world of the past. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, the music! Well, so this is what the yokai world of this era is like. It's weird buildings everywhere. What an amazing place. It's going to a crazy place. Hey, Shin. Shin? She's so surprised that he's frozen in place. Hey, Shin, come back. It's good to be in the yokai world, but now to find Tamamo. But before getting on with the plot, the gang takes a quick detour, an actual tour around the yokai world with none other than... Oh my swirls! Yeah, my boys! Go, Majiro, look at this. It's a huge octopus. I can't eat all of it. Where's the yokai in the past, gluttons? Brother, that's just a sign. In the human world, there are stores with big crab signs. Wow, you know a lot, Komajiro. What's up with you guys? We couldn't help but run over when we heard the word sightseeing. When it comes to wandering around unfamiliar cities, no one's better than us. I'm glad to see more cheerful customers. Since we're here, why don't we visit other places? In many fascinating places, yokai. A restaurant row where Summer and Katie decide to stuff as much food as possible into Toma, who is a very light eater, by the way. A bit of gambling, which Koma-san is apparently very good at, wow. And finally, the largest gate in the whole yokai world, which by the way is this entire area that they're currently standing in. And that's just cool. And after all that adventuring, Komajiro's had so much fun that he decides he wants to hang out with all the detectives again, and... Komajiro!
Komajiro!
What were we supposed to be doing again? Oh yeah, so in an attempt to both find Tamamo and prove he actually is a personal aide to King Enma himself, Future Whisper leads the gang to the great Enma Palace, only to be immediately rejected. Poor guy can't catch a break. Believe it or not, Whisper actually is one of Enma's personal aides, but because they're in the past, he hasn't actually become one yet. So the detectives are left to wonder what options they have left. That is, until they hear a voice that Nate is all too familiar with. You there, are you in trouble? Hovernyan! Let's go! I can't overlook someone in need, I'm here to help! What? Why Hovernyan's here? Oh wow, it's you, Nate. It's been quite a while. And Whisper too, we're glad to see you're doing well. You know him, Nate? Yeah, we ventured together before as good friends. Well, I'm one of Nate's friends. Nice to meet you. Meeting a friend in the past yokai world? Dad, what kind of youth did you have? The gang turns to Hovernyan looking for help for Tamamo. Recognizing the name and understanding Shin's devotion to his friend, Hovernyan helps them out, searching high and low and asking anyone they can find for clues on Tamamo. But as is necessary, when they find someone that has info on the Soul Snatcher, they of course have to do something first. Take Blizaria, for example. I wish you could, but I'm having a bit of a hard time at the store right now. It's been difficult getting customers to leave, so I can't get the store ready. If you could help me get the customers home, I'll tell you more. How about that? Summer cracks her knuckles, pulls out her naginata, and is like, alright, tell me what I need to do. Yeah, I'll send them home to Kingdom Come! Just stabs the Demi in the eyes. The YKD learned that there's actually a bigger person pulling the strings behind Tamamo. And also that she apparently just loves eating. You know what? Fair. So they head for the tastiest smelling place in town, the huge sushi tempura sukiyaki shop. And when they encounter Tamamo, they prepare themselves for the battle of a lifetime. Next time I see those kids, I'll destroy them. Look 5 feet in front of you. She walked 10 steps and was like, oh my god! Tamamo had no such plans. The foxy little coward escapes quite easily, and the detectives are left wondering where she went. Until the Shuten Doji Club shows up once again and drop even more confusing and vague hints before revealing the shocking twist that Voidare prefers tempura to sushi. This is important, I promise. And I guess Tamamo secretly wanted to be found because why would you disguise as a human in the yokai world of all places, where you yourself stated humans could not go? Are you stupid? Yes. Yes, she is. Because she thought she could still defeat the yokai detectives even after they curb stomped her, which was only like 10 minutes ago. She even tries her big bad powered up form. Ooh, scary. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, and during this whole beat the shit out of the soul slurping fox party, Shin regained his resolve and his watch began working again. So now with Tay Sage, this whole thing is finally resolved, and the detectives can peacefully return home, with 2 new members to boot. Although unfortunately they were unable to get their family souls back because Tamamo had given them to him, aka whoever she's working for. Apparently he is saving his energy and stealing souls to get more to prepare for the upcoming Enma tournament. And right before she leaves, she warns them to stay out of his way if they value their lives. Well, at least we know his pronouns. Tay also agrees to begin looking for any scrolls pertaining to the Black Sun, and the 3 friends of the past have one final heartfelt send-off. Shit, now that you say that, I'll give up until the very end, right? Hey, that was my line. After settling Shin down in the agency, it turns out that since the Gross Almond Fukuro case, yokai have been acting stranger and more aggressive. So, if you didn't know by now, the detectives go out and do some detectiving. Let's see what we got. Frogman Komajiro attacking people, got it. Ooh, we befriended him. We got Azure Dragon, nice, nice. He's a god apparently, so that's cool. Oh, we befriend him too, nice. And let's see, lastly, this 50-year-old yokai model is creeping on little girls again! Dude! Why, dude? Just go to yokai jail already! Jeez! Okay, skipping past Jinta's disgusting pastimes, it seems like every single one of these cases involved the Black Sun. So that prompts the YKD to check if Tay had found the scroll yet. And yippee! She did! Now we just gotta let Grandma decipher it and oh. Oh no. That doesn't look good. Apparently the Black Sun is actually called Overseer, and it almost destroyed the yokai world at one point. But luckily it was sealed. But now it may be resurrected soon, uh-oh. And the scroll doesn't say how to stop it. Of course it doesn't. But thankfully where the scroll fails, the prophecy picks up its slack. So far everything's been in line with what the prophecy says will happen. And the newly uncovered part says that a red light will awaken from an eternal slumber when the Watchmasters gather. And that light will link the Mikado and Izana Kings, Enma and Ananta. And then the light of those bonds will destroy the Black Shadow. Nice! The only unknown factors are the red light that awakens from an eternal slumber, and where King Enma even is, because he's not dead apparently. Unable to do anything about it at the moment, the detectives decide to split up until tomorrow. But before that can come, Summer gets a bad case of memory dream, and wakes up in a cold sweat. She stares out her window wondering about answers she'll never get, But Haruya shows up and turns out he's willing to tell Summer everything if she follows him. So I guess forget what I said. Haruya states exactly what Summer dreamed with an eerie accuracy. But in order to get her answers, Summer has to defeat Shuten Doji in a battle she was never going to win by herself. But that's when Tate Plot Device Adam shows up. And when Shuten Doji attacks him to try and force Summer to do something, the Oni princess he'd been so desperately waiting for finally arrives. Then absolutely cleans his clock. God, now I see why Frieza likes this move. She gives Shuten Doji a warning to not make the mistake of attacking her family again if he wants to keep his head on his shoulders. And her power quickly fizzles out. Finally having the answer he needed, he explains everything he knows about the Oni tribe princess, Juno. Haruya asks Summer to take the throne of the yokai world, which he says is rightfully hers. Summer, however, doesn't care whatsoever about any of that, denying her role as the Oni princess and going so far as to call herself an ordinary middle school student. Which, I'm no princess, I'm Summer Adams, an ordinary middle school student. You can see ghosts, you fight ghosts with a band of your friends who also can see and fight ghosts. You are currently working alongside your mother and father, and only one of them knows it. Disappointed but clearly not taking the hint, Haruya decides that he's just gonna follow Summer everywhere and make her life more uncomfortable wherever she goes. Case in point, he immediately spills the beans on the whole Juno thing as soon as he possibly can. Luckily, this seems to be a net gain of an ally because Haruya comes bearing information that Summer is likely Overseer's target, and that they need to awaken Summer with the sacred armor to defeat him. Which is backed up by Lord Ananta, who suddenly appears to also reveal that there are many yokai who have been possessed by Overseer. Yeah? Yeah, I think we figured that out already. After a long day of defeating the possessed yokai, Summer decides to head home, but can't shake the Shuten Doji Club who continue to follow her around against her will. And when she has an outburst that causes her to run away, okay. I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the wildest parts of the story, so I'm just gonna say exactly what happens, and you just need to be ready for it. So basically, Summer runs like 10 feet away, gets attacked, and does nothing to fight back despite having her yokai watch on her wrist. Voidera jumps in and attacks, then gets possessed. Shuten Doji sees no other option than throwing hands. Then Voidera holds on to control over his body and stands there long enough to give Shuten Doji the wildfire brand he was using and then get murdered. Summer does get pretty shaken up by this, but after talking with her mom and dad, Summer makes her decision. She decided to fully awaken as Juno. And to do that, they need to get the final sacred sword, hidden away in the Mystic Grove. Thankfully, Haruya is a bag full of tricks and pulls the keystone to said grove. With one final mysterious Juno dream right before they leave that definitely won't be very important later, you don't have to remember this is underneath a giant sacred tree. I'm just mentioning it because I feel like it. Anyway, the only major issue once they've entered is that Byakko, the final blade bearer, constantly roams around the forest in his celestial form, which is a giant awesome white tiger, by the way. And if he sees you, you die. So yeah, just be careful and quiet.
This is Byakko's territory. There's yokai guarding the area, keeping intruders from going deeper into Mystic Grove.
There's guards.
You don't want to die? Be careful. Don't get found by the yokai. Just a little bit of advice from me.
Oh. So make sure that doesn't reach 100. Look for glowing trees. I have to just interpret. I can't read Japanese.
If you guys end up dying, I'll see you again as yokai.
Hey, don't be so ominous.
Being yokai isn't so bad. Well, have a nice journey.
Yeah, Nate. Being a yokai ain't so bad. He's already stunned? The heck? Dang. Dang, Shin's just getting all the souls. He does not stop. Oh my god! It's an endless stream of souls flowing into this man. Every single one has been a soul grab so far. A soul steal. Are you gonna be any different, buddy? Every one of them, I stole all their souls. What the hell? Oh my god, it's him. It's the man himself. Let me do evade this dude. Just go into a corner where you can't see me, okay, buddy? No, that's literally the most opposite of what I wanted. Just go over that way. Far that way. Book it. Just give me. Oh my god, I'm being stun locked by the creatures from beyond. Okay. These battles are getting, honestly, a mix of tough and annoying. Alright. So, like, I love Shin and all, but he is just not doing enough damage. So, I'm going to the damage dealer himself. Toma. Let's do some damage. Especially with the Oni's hand. Like, look at this. 2 hits. Look at him cleave through everything. I can see why it's called freaking Yokai Watch Ogre now. He hits like one. Like, look, those battles with Shin were taking so long. Look at how quickly Toma destroys everything. Oh, unless it's someone like you. He noticed me, which means he needs to die. Alright. Look at that. They're all dead. Mission complete. Yeah, this man's an operative. He's given a mission. Absolutely, like, goes above and beyond by wiping everything out. Does his job to the maximum degree. And he's like, mission complete. Like, we were struggling. We were dying before. Like, everything was just going to crap every time we fought. We kept dying. We kept having to revive. Now that Toma's here, there has been no complications whatsoever. Oh? Drinking from the river. Oh, right there. Okay, see this whole getting closer thing you're doing? Please stop. I think Wayne is over there. Like near the water. I need to book it towards that rock. Ah, crap. Well, crap. We all just died. Get him now, before it turns. Okay. That was like a couple seconds. Like, future Kevin is gonna check exactly how long that took. Because from the start of that fight to the end was not long. Like, Toma has 0 chill in these fights. Whoa! He just, oh, look at the mirror post face. Oh my god. I didn't know you could do that. That was funny. Let's see. I just need to get past this, right? I'm probably gonna get noticed at least once. Yeah, but I'm chill. Finally, after a long trek, they reach the final sacred sword. Tiger's Talon. Just stuck in a rock. Free for the taking. Yeah, as if that wasn't the most obvious lie. Despite acting like an oblivious beast the whole time, Byakuya was actually paying close attention to the detectives during their whole journey through the Mystic Grove. But despite pleading with Byakko for the sword, he states that he can't just give it to them, even with the threat of Overseer looming above them.
Only someone stronger than me, Blade Bearer Byakko, can use Tiger's Talon.
Suzaku and Genbu acknowledged us. It's not just about us anymore. But to avenge Voidera's death and fulfill my people's wish, I have to ask for that Tiger's Talon.
The Oni's motivated too. You may challenge my trial.
So the detectives do their best to prove themselves in battle.
Woo! God of Wind and Thunder, Byakko!
Failure. Proving themselves unworthy of the Tiger's Talon, Byakko takes a cheap shot at Akinori. And despite it still being petrified, Stormweaver answers Toma's call for help. Probably not how they were expecting, though. Although Stormweaver is no longer stone-like, Lord Akala is summoned individually in a younger form that they end up naming Lil Akala. And after a quick argument with his old buddy Byakko, where the Tiger Man basically makes fun of him the whole time for being tiny, they engage in one more battle with Byakko, this time proving themselves worthy of the final sacred sword and a celestial disc. After befriending Lil Akala, because I don't know why you had to go back home in order to befriend him, this means that there's only one thing left to do. By offering the 5 sacred swords atop Suzaku's peak of Mount Sokanzan, and by performing the ceremony, Juno can be awakened. When the gang reaches the summit, they reminisce about old times and how things have changed. But now it's time for the ceremony to begin. Unfortunately, if you know this game like I do at this point, you know that something's gonna go wrong. As the ceremony is performed, the voice of Enma calls from above. But unfortunately, it's too late. Believe it or not, Overseer had fabricated the whole reawakening of Juno using the 5 sacred swords thing, as a horrid plot to release himself, as he was trapped within them the whole time. And wow, would you look at that, it's the intro cutscene. And wow, Enma is also dead now. Sick. And now he's been erased from every world. Actually, that's very bad. If you remember the prophecy, Enma is necessary to defeat Overseer. So with him gone, we're kinda screwed. The new plan is to figure out exactly what happened to cause Enma to be erased. Then Nate uses his big old brain and remembers when Summer and Tate originally began disappearing. So that means to revive Enma, they need to do the same thing that Nate did. Find Lord Enma's bond connector. Easier said than done, because apparently due to Overseer's magic, Zazel can't remember crap about the day Enma was born. The only thing he clearly remembers is that the Enma tournament was being held. The tournament that decides the next King Enma. Luckily and surprisingly to Zazel, the YKD are already very aware of the tournament. So Zazel sends him to the past with a permit that grants them an audience with the old King Enma, so that they can ask to enter the tournament. The detectives meet up with Alistair and Tay, and Shin convinces them to go to Enma's palace once more, despite them telling him that they've already been denied multiple times. When they arrive, the Orkanos guarding the palace lets them in, obviously due to Zazel's permit. Then the detectives go to meet the Great King himself. Oh, look at this. Toma, how did you open that? How did you and your weak little human arms open that door? Past Zazel, not recognizing the YKD, immediately tells them to piss off. They ignore him obviously and ask to enter the Enma tournament, which humans are usually not allowed to do. However, Ancient Enma is smart enough to recognize the yokai watches. When they explain their soul-stolen plight and their mission to save future Enma, the Great King of the Past allows them entry. And with phase 1 of their mission fulfilled, they return to Alistair's mansion to rest up for the night. But when Haria is nowhere to be seen, Toma goes to find him, and they have a quick, probably very loud scuffle, because Haria used the Wildfire brand in his own blood and body to summon the Blade Bearer Ajura, who Toma defeats and then takes his sacred sword. Meanwhile, the rest of them are all in the house like, you guys hear anything? Nah. Uno. One after-battle pep talk and mutual understanding later, the gang is now prepared for the tournament. A hop, skip, and a warp jump to the Oni Arena. My boy! And a word from Ancient Enma about only people with true power being the ones to obtain the crown. See, this is a king who knows what power is. He knows what strength is. Like, it's not just about punching really hard. I think this Lord Enma's cool. The battle has begun. After a couple rounds of hot and cold, punching the lights out of Hell's gatekeepers, and oh, I have to fight my boy? They used Hovernyan's theme! Hell yeah! There's been no sighting of anyone who looks like they'd be using souls to power themselves up. Luckily, their favorite punching bag makes herself known, and after finding her in the most obvious disguise once again, aka the exact same one! Gee, it's like you're not even trying! Anyway, they tell her that they're in the tournament, and she almost spills the beans on who that guy is before being murdered, coincidentally by the man himself, Lord Enma's biological son, Xian. There's a quick argument about getting the souls back and Xian really not giving a single shit about the lives of anything. Then the matches begin again. Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Alright, let's knock some heads and make a beef cutlet. With extra spider eye on the side. Spandex. And finally, Xian. But before the battle with Xian, an important question is brought up. After they win, who's gonna stay behind and rule as the next Enma? Whisper offers himself and is immediately written off. That's when Alistair offers himself to become Enma. It's decided. Now, all that's left is the final battle in the tournament. Unfortunately, the game continues its bad habit of, oh, you thought you were winning? Too bad! Feeling invincible after assaulting 7 children, he decides to send a message and attempts to murder some of them. Although interrupted by his father, who makes it clear that Xian doesn't understand the true power he spoke of. Xian loses it. Tired of hearing all these people spouting their shonen lines, he tries to kill Alistair. Unfortunately for him, Alistair still had the reverse card from their game last night, and goes, hold on a sec, I've been dead this whole time. Let me lay this out for you. He tried to save his sister, they both died, Tamamo took her soul, he got granted another life, yada yada yada, anime bullshit, go! Alistair's wrist, is that a yokai watch? It's a yokai watch arcane god! Give me the strength to fight with you! Descend! God side! The 7th and final Watchmaster, Alistair, gives Xian the beating of a lifetime with the newly powered up God side yokai. Unable to come to terms with the fact that he's a little bitch, Xian screams a dark orb into existence, consumed by the resentment of all the souls he's stolen. Ancient Enma, oh yeah, he's alive by the way, tells them that they need to awaken the goodness in Xian's heart. Something I personally don't believe is possible. I mean, does this look like something with good in its heart? Anyway, the dead guy, Alistair, enters the Black Vortex. And now all the pieces are in place. Knock knock, Overseer's here. He's here to destroy Enma's bond connector. You know, the person who will bring Enma into existence and all that. Who's Xian, apparently. Does any of this even make sense anymore? So, after a battle with Yokai Satan, a healthy dose of the power of friendship, and an off-screen fusion dance, ta-da! It's the Enma we all know and love. Don't worry about why he looks weird, he's just in Super Saiyan 3 right now. And might I say, he looks sick as hell. Now he pop Overseer like the big ugly balloon he is, and Alistair says goodbye, as his new fused soul goes off to be reincarnated as the Enma we come to know in the future, who once again meets his best friend. Also, he's now restored. If you ask me how, I don't think I'd know at this point. You know who else is completely fine in the future? Overseer. Because of course he is. Blown to the void and back, and oops, now he's attacking the future yokai world. So they all join forces to defeat the Black Sun once and for all. Summer, Nate. The others. After hearing what's been made of the yokai world, the detectives are eager to help out. Unfortunately, due to everything being clouded in a toxic gloom, they're immediately shut down by Ananta. The only way these guys are getting into that fight is by truly unlocking their shonen anime powers, known as the power to destroy evil. I am not joking. To unlock this awesome power, each member of the detectives must take on some kind of fancy trial. But do I have such a great power? I'm just an ordinary elementary school student. There's no way you're in elementary school, dude. There's no way you're like 11. Except Summer. Her whole Oni thing kind of checks that box. So what do each of them gotta do? Akinori awakens the final and pure celestial. Plot twist. Remember Azure Dragon? Yeah, that's him. And boop! Say hello to Soryu. Okay, it means blue dragon, but I was close enough saying that it would be a Seiryu, which he literally evolved from, so I was right. Deal with it. Toma also needs to awaken someone. Not new, but the first blade bearer he ever used. He and Lil Akala take on the monstrous task of defeating all the other blade bearers at once, to try and force Lil Akala to fully awaken. And when he does, it's quite the challenge. Seriously, this was the first time I lost a fight legitimately in the whole game. Oh my god! Oh my god! No! Anyway, bada bing, bada boom, Lord Akala has entered the room. Shin's trial is guided by Master Yoda's persona, who's really into hoses, making absolutely zero sense every time he mentions them. But somehow, by fighting a bunch of yokai, Shin summons this guy! What the hell is that? After one final fight, Shin unlocks a new move allowing him to summon the new warlord, and Gunshin Susanoo returns to his original form. Oh! What the hell? Katie's next, and she might just have the weirdest trial out of all of them. Katie must learn to swoon people. What? QB? You need to chill, bud. So, let's see. Katie must learn how to pull on the heartstrings of QB, Robonyan, and Yo! Luckily, by using my big old brain, I expertly figured out exactly what each and every one of them would want to hear most. QB? Easy. Robonyan? Hand me that wrench. Look at my brain in action. My boy! I just need to give him fish. It wouldn't be I need your help. I don't think Van Ock would care. You can't fluff up the scarf. Those are snakes. Maybe it's the last one? Boom! Ah, there was a texture glitch there? I'm a genius. And the final part of Katie's challenge is to bring out some of her own internal strength. Oh no, he's back! And it even seems as though Katie was after my own heart as well. Cause she made my dream that I've had for this whole game come true. Yes! Yes! My boy! My boy! My boy is here! I'm probably peeking the mic so badly right now. I'm so worried. I saw the bar turn red. Yes! You're going immediately on my team. And finally, there's Nate. The boy who had no idea what he was getting into when this whole adventure started. He must take on the most difficult challenge of all. Socializing. At a party. After some cheers and some drinks, Nate makes a speech about how he'll make sure to defeat Overseer. Nobody else knows who the hell that is. Okay. Serious question. How is this a trial? I mean, I get it. Nate makes friends with yokai. That's like his whole thing. But I mean, this is how he gains the power to destroy evil? You know what? Never mind. But now every trial is complete. Also, Nate and Katie unlock new soul ultimates, and that was kind of cool. It's time for everyone to fully awaken their power. Failure. Something's missing. Summer's actually being troubled by Juno's memories, which the game shows off with a very understandable cutscene. What the hell is happening? She's like reliving trauma. Oh my god! She had the Juno markings. The next day, Enma appears and Summer decides that she'll fight for her own life. And now with all 7 Watch Masters together, the power appears. and they get ready for the next day and final battle. And unfortunately, Nate's getting the jitters, so he chats with everyone to calm his nerves. Akinori talks about love and tells Nate to confess to Katie, and while doing an example for him, Isabel just so happens to see and says she'll wait to hear the rest. So good luck with that, buddy. And also he began glowing. Weird. Katie talks about how strange it is to see yokai and finally understand why Nate always acted so weird. And together they promise to protect everyone that they can. Toma discusses what the Blade Bearers told him earlier, about them knowing the sacred armor was cursed, and that releasing Overseer was the only way to kill him, and that they are waiting for someone like Toma who can control the sacred armory. Yeah, I'm just dropping all of this on you now. So, anyway, then Toma begins talking about the crap he did in the movie, and talks about how he changed because of Summer and Akinori being there for him. He understands that what Overseer's done can't be forgiven or ignored, but covered in a radiant glow, he says that he still wants to save him if he can. Another glow, how strange. Summer and Nate talk about how weird it is to be a time-traveling dad and future daughter working together, while making some jokes about Nate being Summer's dad and Summer feeling more like an older sister to Nate. Finally, there's Shin, the boy who hated most yokai, who learned to become friends with them, and had his best friend become the king of all of them. And he was able to see so many worlds thanks to the detectives. He's thankful to all of them. But now that that's all over, it's time. The YKD receives the keystone to the future yokai world, and witness the destroyed palace before them. They ascend through the castle, even making their way through this annoying infinite hallway. Floor after decrepit floor, they trudge onward. Overseer makes it clear that yes, something going on with Juno, to which Summer smugly reveals herself. And eventually they see the two literal gods felled by someone who used to be an ally. Overseer has once again used his evil magic, this time blocking Ananta's memories of the YKD and turning him into the Dark King of the yokai world. And after an awful battle, the Serpent King hands the throne to its previous owner. Is he vanishing? He vanished! He's dead! Ananta is dead! It's finally time to deal with Overseer. Entering the Great Hall on the worst day of their lives, the Black Sun awaits them, ready for a final showdown. And as the magical man he is, Ananta arises from the dead and assists the detectives in the final battle. How? Ananta didn't even have an excuse like Alistair did before. He just said no to death by deciding to be a fairy tale character. Anyway, as the battle goes on, Overseer keeps saying that he'll make Juno remember something, and he cuts the fight short to make sure she does. She remembers the traitor Overseer looming above her castle, as well as her knights fighting with her until the defeat of the Black Sun. She remembers everything. It's not just her. Remember those glows from before? Turns out, along with Juno's reincarnation as Summer, her knights Boreas and Eurus were also reincarnated as Toma and Akinori respectively. Pissed off remembering everything from her past life, Summer whacks the hell out of the Sky Eye, and it's dead! Hooray, we win! Ananta's still harnessing the power of Hiro Mashima's writing, and Summer gets a new Soultimate. Yeah, you know as well as I do that that's a damn lie. A nice victory is not allowed for this band of heroes, as Overseer, who is still alive somehow, picks off everyone one by one except for Enma, transporting them to Nate's time, as the most horrendous symbol of the darkest day nests above Mount Wildwood. But the Boreas and Eurus within Toma and Akinori feel as though there's something they still can't remember. As they approach, Summer transforms and she explains everything. Saros, a kind man who'd caught the eye of Juno, the daughter of the yokai world's king, was arrested and sentenced to execution. He had been collecting the sacred armory in secret for the express purpose of killing the king. But after he died, his hatred and grudge escaped and attacked those who wronged him, becoming the Black Sun, Overseer. His dark power had driven the yokai king to madness. Now deaf to the outside world, he relentlessly attacked his once close subjects and daughter. Juno had to take the life of her father with her own two hands. This creature, this monster known as Overseer, could not be forgiven. Finally ready to fight, Overseer responds, saying that she knows nothing of the true pits of his suffering. Above the sacred tree, the immortal evil sheds a single tear that shines with a horrible dark glow. And in an instant, the symbol of terror they had come to know as the Black Sun disappeared, falling to the ground condensed in a manifestation of darkness and suffering. Matin Overseer makes himself known. Unfortunately, he can't compete with the power of friendship. Seriously, the Crank-a-kai gains sentience and moves itself into the battlefield, and by draining it, you can summon more allies. Although with something as powerful as friendship itself against him, Matin Overseer must have an equally busted move. I hate this guy. And he does this! A lot! Sky blue waves. He's this piece of crap. Okay. Storm Slash while he's immobile. This piece of crap! I'm actually going to exorcise him from this world. I mean, I get it. Once again, that is the whole point. But like, oh my god! What the hell? Oh yeah, he also used the ultimates of all the Blade Bearers, so that's kind of cool. What the heck? What is that? What? Illuminoct? What was that? But back to the topic at hand. Friendship? Screw that. But like, Overseer's gotta realize at this point that he sucks at getting rid of things that annoy him. Because Enma says, "What up, buddy?" and appears to assist in the Sunbaked slaughter. Now equipped with the power of literally gathering friendship energy. I am not joking! The power of friendship is the strongest thing in this universe. And this poor, feeble-minded shonen villain could not handle being jumped by everyone on the detective's favor list. Destruction! This is just rub salt in the wound. He blew up! Detonation! 9,000! That's like 10,000 yen. Why did the God of Demons... Like, why did, like, this evil, beyond the void creature have Japanese currency on him? Whatever. Anyway, it's time for a mind conversation. Yep, we're just doing those now. Juno keeps rejecting Saros, but when her knights appear, they clear everything up and tell her what really happened. Enlighten me. After Juno began her rule, following the defeat of Overseer, her knights went to find Saros' body, to learn the truth of what happened to their best friend, and hopefully restore Juno's lost smile. What they saw was horrible. The body of their best friend, torn to shreds by the sacred armory he had collected. And those swords spilled out Saros' grief and the truth of what happened. This man was fooled. He'd collected the sacred armory to offer them to the king in exchange for his daughter's hand. But he was framed as a traitor by people who envied his relationship with the princess. Then he became the Black Sun that they all despised. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it back to relay this truth before their death. But they had promised to tell Juno and comfort the closest people in all of their lives. And one day meet up again beneath that big tree they had all visited on that day. And they succeeded. Juno, seeing the face of her lover once more, truly understanding what's in his heart, urges him to reincarnate in the hopes that they may meet once again. Finally having a victory that won't be interrupted, the detectives think about everything that's happened so far and how amazing this adventure. God damn it, why can there never just be a happy ending in this game? The door's roll slowly comes to a close with Overseer gone. But Shin pulls everyone out of their solemn mood and encourages them, saying somehow they'll all meet again. And one by one, they all say their goodbyes. The boy from the past who returned the souls of those he holds most dear. The Oni tribe yokai who witnessed his mission of awakening his princess being fulfilled. The original detectives who have been with each other since times long past as knights and a princess who may have spilled the beans on a couple things, much to her father's confusion. You spilled the beans, Summer! Summer, you spilled the beans! And Nate's an oblivious idiot. Oh my god. Katie and Whisper now. Nate, you're a dunce. And off they go. To a world unreachable. As everyone said, I'm sure you'll meet again somewhere. As long as there's yokai watches, your bond won't disappear. Yeah, you're right. Because even if they're gone to worlds no longer reachable, they're all still looking up at the same sky. Look at me! My brain! If you decide to sit down and watch this hour, 20-minute long video about Yokai Watch, then I just have one thing to say to you. Why? Why would you waste your time like this? What are you doing? Go outside, get a hobby or something. There's no way you don't have something better to do than watch this stupidly long video about this silly ghost game. Thanks, I guess. Also, please subscribe. I'll try not to do a lot of super long videos, but no guarantee. Is there anything else to say? I mean, play this game if you can. I think it's good, even if you can't get it translated like I could. But I really don't care anymore. Bye.